Your local Houston BMW Center studios. Welcome to the Public Affairs Podcast, addressing local issues that affect our nation and shape our world. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcome in the studios. He came highly recommended, and I actually, he had reminded me that I was, in fact, a guest on his podcast called The Success Chronicles back during my Ready to Love run. And he is an amazing human being. He's an educator, an author, and podcast host of the podcast, The Success Chronicles. Please welcome Mr. Chip Baker onto the program. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
KG, thank you so much for having me, man. I consider it an honor and a privilege to be here with you. Thanks so much for what you've done for a long time for the city, man. It's inspiring to.
Thank you.
And so appreciate the love. Want to show you some love, man.
Well, thank you for that love. Thank you for the love
Yes,
right
sir.
back. And your relationship with us over here. You also had the Mad Hatter on your podcast and everything. So, tell the people about you. Chip Baker. Who is Chip Baker?
Man, so I am a fourth-generation educator, teacher, former coach. Man, been blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people as well as be around some awesome people to learn from in my career. I tell people I was raised from a family of church folk with no S and educators. And I say that because I was taught at a young age to be of service, understanding that it's not about me, it's bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And so I've just strived to do that my whole life and make my family proud. And so played sports, played college football, West Texas A&M University, and then went into my career as a teacher and a coach. And I'm in my 26th year of education.
Wow.
I coached for 20 of those years. I've been an athletic director, head coach in my hometown. And so, man, 8 years ago, started my YouTube channel and podcast, The Success Chronicles. A couple years after that, started writing books. To the date, have published 24 of those.
24
Crazy
books.
And a few of those have been bestsellers.
In 8 years?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So it's been a whirlwind. I tell people I'm two E words: excited and exhausted.
Yeah. Hey, I call it balance.
Yeah, that's it. Right there. There you go.
That's amazing, bro.
Yes, sir.
Writing a book. So what was that process like for you, writing your first book? Did it come easy with you already being an educator and, kind of, knowing English literature?
Yeah. What's crazy is every experience that we're blessed and fortunate to have in our life sets us up to be successful for the next experiences that we're going to have.
Absolutely.
If we have the awareness to learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn.
Well,
come on, take them to church.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, like you said, being an educator, I've been around all of those things. As a coach, I was a guy that would speak to the team, pregame, all of those things. So all of those, I was able to hone my skills and work on those things. So when I got into writing the book, it was just a matter of putting my ideas down. It was just a matter of taking those skills of what I learned and how to write and just putting my ideas down. And so that part came easy for me. It was just the other, like the business behind the scenes, promotion, connecting with people, all of those things. Those were the things that were a little more rough because I had to learn those on the fly.
Yeah, and especially if you're getting into a business in unfamiliar territory.
Yeah.
It could be dog eat dog or shark eat shark kind of situation. So let's get into your books.
Yeah.
One in particular that you have 9 volumes on.
Yeah, so my most recent, the one you're holding is 9.
Okay,
this is
so
volume 10.
You've got 10 volumes.
And then I've dropped this one, like the impact of, so I took
okay.
So they're compilation books. And so I bring together authors and we share stories of things that we've learned, how people have impacted and influenced us, what we learned from it, and how we're using that to make a positive difference in our world.
And the name of this series is called The Impact of Influence.
Yes, sir. And so the one you're holding, number 9, is Sharing Love. So we share how love impacted and influenced us. And volume 10 was the last in the series. And so we had to do that one on legacy. living and leaving a legacy. And so this one is, man, so proud of all of them, but super proud of the 10 because it's the last in the series. And then not only did we have write chapters, but we wrote a legacy letter for our loved ones to leave. And my hope is that this will be passed down for generations and generations to show the people coming after us what it takes to be successful in life.
I love that. So, to you, what has been the impact of influence?
I think to me, man, I've been super blessed and fortunate to have some people in my life to show me the way. And it's influenced me in such a manner that it's impacted me and caused me to be who I am today.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I strive to do each moment of each day is by my actions, by my words, by the things that I do is just return that favor because I know what it feels like to receive that from great people. And so I've just strived to do that in hopes to continue that impact of influence in our world.
That's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
That really is. Is there a certain book out of the 24 that speaks to you the most, or the one that you enjoyed writing the most, or the most excited about because you knew of the, no pun intended, impact of what you were about to put out?
Yeah, first off, just to have a book,
right?
like where I grew up. I grew up in a small hometown in Texas.
Bro, just to have a book.
Yes, single parent mom. Just to be an author, like to me, like that blows me. Like you look in the book and it has a real ISBN number, like a real book, right?
And looking at these hard cover copies are just, I mean,
it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
And so
Can't wait till I do mine.
Yeah, just to be an author, to have one book, I think is amazing for me. But then, out of the 24, of course, the Impact of Influence series is cool. But I have a kids book, and it's Stay on the Right Path. And that was something that my mom used to tell me growing up. She used to tell me, boy, when she put the boy in front of it, it's for real, right? Boy, stay on the right path. And I didn't know really what that meant until I, grew and matured and learned some things. And I have an acronym for that, people, attitude, time, help someone, right? And those were things that when we allow ourselves to do that in our life, not only do we stay on the right path, but it allows us to help others with their path as well. And so that one is probably my favorite. It's a kid's book because I hope that in my family they can pass that down to see what the path should be like and show them that big things are possible.
Mm-hmm. The Quarter Pounder with Cheese had many great things. Maple-flavored griddle cakes isn't one of them. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
You listen to the Public Affairs Podcast. We're talking to author, educator, and podcaster Chip Baker. His series of books are available by wroteby.me//Chip Baker. All things Chip Baker. So, I mean, people like you, I have a special name for, like people that do multiple things. I call them super ends.
I like it.
And so just seeing all of this and getting to know who you are, like, oh, Chip is also a super N.
Yeah. Striving to be, brother.
Yeah, because you do everything. Talk about the importance of, and I was having this conversation with another guest on this podcast about the importance of children playing sports, not for the sake of the competition, but for the sake of just learning all of these other different kinds of characteristics like teamwork and discipline and, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about that importance, especially with you
Yeah.
being a coach. Like, what is that like to have that kind of influence or power over some impressionable young folks?
Yo, it's amazing. I always say this. I think sports teach us transferable life skills, right? And I'll say it again. Sports teach us transferable life skills. And what I mean by that is there's so many things in sports that we learn that are transferable to life. And I can tell you, everything in life is a team. So, right, I've been a part of teams, from a kid, my mom being my first head coach, having me involved in stuff, played 4 sports for 4 years in high school, played college football, and then I got out and I coached for such a long time, right? So I've been a part of teams practically my whole life. And so, like, everything in life is a team. And so, first it teaches you it's not about you. Every action that we take, it affects someone in a negative or positive way.
Yes.
So it allows us to think, it's bigger than me. Punctuality, being on time. We have to do that now. Like all of those hard work, like all of those things that you learn in sports, pushing yourself, understanding that, it's okay to push yourself through challenges, because through your toughest challenges, on the other side of that is going to be your maximum growth.
Yeah.
Come on, that's like the weight room, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes, yes.
the weights, like, bro, you got to like push yourself, and sometimes you ain't gonna feel like it, and you gonna sweat, and it hurts, right? But on the other side of that, you like to look in that mirror, you like the result,
You like this.
and so life
I'm a
is
witness. I
yeah,
mean,
amen.
Let them tell it when I go and I show my progressive photo or video on my Instagram story. Let the other people tell it I'm thirst trapping, and it's just like, no. I mean, and if I am, then you got caught. But no, I'm not thirst trapping. I just like what I see and this work that I've put in for all this time.
Yep.
You know?
Sacrifices, being disciplined.
Yeah.
All of those things come into play. And so being a part of sports is so good. It teaches you so many things that make you better. And it allows you to hone in, stay focused, be disciplined, do the things that are important, and don't worry about the things that's not important. And then it allows you to stay on that path to be successful.
Indeed. There was a video that's been going around on social, or I don't know if it's making this round. Someone sent it to me. And I don't know if this young lady is some sort of psychologist or psychiatrist or mental health professional or any of that, but she makes some great points that, with this new found self-healing and people, healing from their traumas and going to therapy and getting, talking it out, to better themselves. We're all here for it. But she was saying that a lot of these terms that are used in therapy that everyday people use are, people are weaponizing it as an excuse for them to not grow. Like, not she was saying, like, not everything is going to cause anxiety.
Yeah.
Not everything is traumatic. Like, in life, some things are just hard. And so you weaponizing these psychological terms to mask you not wanting to grow as an individual, instead of you're using these excuses that you're learning in therapy or these definitions that you've seen on social media. It's just like, no, just some things are hard to do and to get over, and that's just that.
Yeah.
It's not, anxiety or whatever the diagnosis may be, whatever social diagnosis it may be.
Yeah, we have to learn to do hard stuff.
Right. That's the problem now. Everybody's,
Like,
too soft. I mean,
Yeah.
when they was talking about bringing the draft back, and I'm like, well, who they going to draft? Because these YNs are not capable. They don't even know how to change a tire,
Yeah.
much less,
Yeah.
well, I take
Yeah.
that back. They probably do know how to assemble and disassemble an automatic weapon. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, men that grew up in a certain time era
It's different.
that knew how to do certain things.
It's different.
Nowadays, it's right.
different.
That's all I'm saying, and
It's different.
and we are to blame.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll just share too. I have a son. He's in high school, and just in raising him, all of the sons, air quotes that I've had via coaching.
Sure.
Like, bro, you got to go do some hard stuff. Like daddy can't hold your hand and walk you through it.
No.
Like, bro, you're gonna have to put the helmet on and get hit in the mouth and be physical so that you learn, hey, don't do that. Or I like this. This is what I want to do. And so all of us
Or just to face your challenges head on.
Oh, you have to. We all have to learn to face those challenges, because I'm telling you, on the other side of our toughest challenges is our maximum growth, and you have to allow yourself to grow. Oh, that's good. You have to allow yourself to grow through what you go through.
Ooh,
Come on,
bars.
let me give it to him again.
Come on now.
Let me give it to him. You have to allow yourself to grow through what you go through, right? Like, none of us are immune from going through tough things, right? Tough life be life, and tough things are gonna happen to you. But within that, we have to have the awareness, okay, to learn the lessons, right? The blessings and the lessons. Okay, this happened. What's my part in this, right? Is it in my control? Is it out of my control? Right? If it's out of my control, don't worry about it.
That's right.
If it's in my control, well, then I got to do something about it.
Correct.
Right? So now, what are the actions I'm going to take to get to the other side of it? And then when you do that, you'll be able to look back and be proud of what you've accomplished, because you pushed yourself to do hard stuff.
Right. And we'll have a greater appreciation for
The
whatever it is
experience.
that you overcame,
The
the
experience.
experience and all of that.
Yep.
Because there's and to everybody listening, not just, I was going to say to the kids listening, but to everybody listening, like, you will appreciate and treat your things better and more precious when you work for it, because you worked for it and you earned it. So you're going to handle with care.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So
versus if something grand was given to you,
Yeah.
you're not going to treat it with such care because it was given to you so freely. You know what I mean? Versus something that you had to work for.
And like we talked about too, like, you'll value that experience, just like in sports, how it relates to life. You will value that experience and not take it for granted. I mean, pick something: relationships, experiences, jobs.
Yeah.
Like pick something, right? You'll value it. Friends, opportunities, different things that you have. Like I said, like, I'm just glad to have one book. I was
Right.
24. I'm just glad to have
24,
one.
Right.
So you'll value those experiences, and and you'll be grateful for it all. It allows you to operate in gratitude as well.
Absolutely. And, and if you want more abundance and more for yourself, what he just said right there, gratitude. Be grateful for what you have right now. Because a lot of people think that, and we got to wrap. A lot of people think that, when they meditate or they pray or they're asking God, the Lord, Jesus, whatever it is that you subscribe to for it, they've got it wrong. Instead of like the whole begging, submissive time. Oh, Lord, please, Jesus, Lord, help me. Oh, I need you, Lord.
Yeah.
Instead of that way, why don't you, ask with the confidence or command that thing to happen? Like, all right, God, show me what it is. Like, I done got this now. Show me.
Yeah, come
like
on.
that instead
Come
of, oh, Lord.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, be like, oh, all right, well, I done did this. Show me. Now, there's also steps. Like, people think, yes,
Yeah.
your thoughts do create your reality, but you just can't write it down, say it out loud, and then just sit there and wait for
No.
it to happen. You got to move. You have to make
Got to
some
put the
sort of
work in.
action going toward said objective, whatever the objective goal is. You got to move toward that. And it really does work like that when you move. Like, just sitting there hoping and wishing and not moving, not taking any action, you're not gonna ever attain that. But as long as you're taking even those small steps to attain what it is, it's gonna come to you. Chip, thank you, bro.
Man, thank you so much.
Where can people go? All of your books available on Amazon, or
Yes, sir.
where should they go where we can know for sure that you will get the maximum percentage of the monies, if not all of it?
That's it. So yes, they are on Amazon, but I do have a site where people can
Yes.
go so they can get
Yeah, we're gonna go to the site. We're not gonna go through a middleman.
Yeah, signed copies of the book, and just check out my social media. All of it is at Chip Baker TSC, as in The Success Chronicles, except for X, and X is Chip Baker 19. And so, like, in my bio, there's a link to my online store where I have merch, my Go Get It merch, and Impact of Influence stuff. So
That's the kind of time we on. So go right there.
let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
KG, man, thank you again so much for having me again.
No, this was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate all that you do.
Thank you.
And this has been great.
No, this has been great. No, thank you. Thank you for your time. For sure. Everybody check out Chip Baker. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.